Hello, happy Monday. Happy start of the new week. It's looking sunny out, thank goodness, because it was so awful on the weekend. Today I thought I would motivate myself again to read more throughout the week, specifically by doing a Monday to Sunday reading vlog. I am in the middle of a book right now and I'm a mood reader, so maybe you all can help me choose what to read. Currently I'm reading The Deep by Nick Cutter. I finished a little bit of a graphic novel I was reading called Oma's Table that it was for a 40-hour readathon. I'm still 4 books behind on my Goodreads goal, so I'm hoping that by reading more throughout the week, by doing a traditional weekly reading vlog, I can read more. This is obviously a horror. His first book, The Troop, was like my introduction to horror. This one's pretty atmospheric as well. This is also, I think, a deep sea type of horror. In this one, there's also a new strange plague called the Gets. If you've read The Troop, there's like a weird plague situation in that one too. Lots of gross body horror. But this one, these two brothers, so one of them is like a scientist and he went to the deep sea to find this supposed cure to the Gets, and then his submarine or whatever lost communication, and his brother, our main character, is a vet and he's going on like this mission, I guess, to rescue them. I'm only 120 pages into it, not super far. I would say only like 30-ish pages, but it's already really weird and creepy because you don't really know what the Gets is. I think you just completely lose sense of yourself, sort of in the way that dementia does. I have a few library books as an option as well. Currently, these are what I have out from the library in order of like when they're due. So I would like to get to this YA one, Fat Chance Charlie Vega. These are the books on my fall TBR at the moment. If I could get to one of these, that would be pretty great as well, just to fit for like the fall theme. Recently, my weekly vlogs have been more of like a week and a half to 2 because I just wanted to read at least 3 books and get the video out. So hopefully I think I can show maybe more of like my day-to-day in this type, possibly, even though I'm boring and I don't do anything. So I'll take you along. I'm currently catching up on Hannah Elise's London vlog part 2. Oh, it makes me want to travel and it makes me not want to go to work. I only read like 30 pages yesterday. I wish I read more. That's just the way it goes. I ended up last night, instead of coming home and reading before I went to bed, I edited my video and exported that because I was a little bit delayed. Recently, since having moved, I like having everything uploaded and scheduled by like Saturday so that I could troubleshoot anything. I think it's raining. It's gonna rain. It got so dark and so cloudy. Maybe before I leave I can fit in a little bit more of reading, just depending on my mood, because I'm feeling really blah. Love that for me. I'm all dressed now, but the goal today is to finish The Deep. This is now the 3rd day for this vlog, at least. I've been reading it for more like 5, even though I didn't read for 1 day, so 4. Very atmospheric, very creepy. I definitely don't like deep sea stuff. It's also getting confusing because there's like nightmares involved and maybe some sort of hallucinations because of the ambrosia. It's hard to tell what's real, but I think that might be the point. Today I was able to read on my commute. I'm reading the journal entries of Dr. Westlake. You can tell how unhinged he's getting the longer he's in this deep sea station. All 3 scientists are doing different tests with this ambrosia and they're not really talking to each other. They're not communicating with each other because I guess they're getting really territorial. Obviously Clayton is there so we could see like what he was doing. The other one, I think Hugo, totally far gone. Is he there? We don't know. He doesn't come up enough in the book to like be aware of him. I have like 2 parts left. I've got the Honeypot part 5 and the Figmen left, which is like, what is the Figmen? That's come up. It's giving me Pennywise from It vibes like Ambrosia is, in the way that it like really fucks with your mind and it brings up all of this like past trauma. It's really like keeping everyone on their toes. It is really messing with everyone's mind. I'm like losing track of what's happening in the story, not in like a this is so boring and it's not written well way, but in like a what am I supposed to be focusing on. It's making me feel like I'm losing my mind with these characters essentially. The journal entries are kind of too long, but I can see why it's like important, but it's making me lose my mind. It's like going not great, especially with the font being like this in his handwriting. I can't wait for that to be over, honestly. Last night I was unable to sleep and I went to bed a little before like 5 a.m. this time. It's definitely past 4. So I decided to, instead of just endlessly scrolling on my phone, which I did for a while, I would read. And I started Fat Chance Charlie Vega by Maldonado. It's YA. It came out in 2021. I remember a lot of people were reading it. I read 123 pages of it in one sitting, like non-stop. Couldn't put it down. It's very readable. I really like it. So this is about Charlie. She is a fat girl and she wants to prove to people that she is more than just being fat, and that fat isn't a bad thing, and for people to be able to see past that. Like, she's also beautiful, she's also really smart, and she's funny. Her whole life people have been telling her to be everything but fat and to be like whiter and to be more quiet, but she just wants to be unapologetically herself. She also wants to be kissed really badly. She likes a boy, but it turns out that he might have liked her skinny best friend first. She wants to see, is she ever gonna be first in for someone? It's a coming of age story, which I love. I already really like Charlie. I think she's so fun. She's the quiet type that I can definitely relate to. Her best friend Amelia is definitely her ride or die. Things at home are a little bit complicated. Her father passed away and for a long time it's just been her and her mom, but her mom lost weight after her dad died and she's been trying to push these meal replacement shakes to her, which is really unhealthy. There was a little bit of a blow up. It hasn't been resolved yet, so I'm gonna see where that's going, but so far I'm really enjoying this. I'm gonna be cat sitting this weekend, so I'm not gonna be staying here, so I have to pick out another book, and I'm wondering if it should be a graphic novel since it's just the weekend. And I just realized that I need to talk about The Deep because I finished that last night too. Overall, I think I'm giving it 3.5 stars. It was very atmospheric and creepy, but it definitely didn't do the same for me as The Troop did. I don't know, I don't feel like the ending did it for me. The wrap up of who's controlling Ambrosia, if somebody was controlling it, or what being was controlling it, or like what Ambrosia is at all. I didn't like how that wrapped up. Although it was really creepy, you could tell like in everyone's mind that the longer that you're down there, you're really just spiraling out of control of yourself. In that aspect, I did enjoy it, but I think it's not going to top The Troop for me, so 3.5 stars. However, I do have a book down for this reading vlog, so we love that. Happy Saturday. I'm getting ready. I'm going to meet my friend to go pick up an order. I really gotta do something because there's like zero volume here. I'm cat sitting right now. As you saw, I had my lunch, a few Lunchables. I haven't gotten Lunchables in years. I really love Charlie. I didn't get to read a lot yesterday. I also didn't have much to vlog. As you saw, I did nothing. I'd say I'm like 50-ish% of the way through, if not a little bit more, but I'm really liking this. I think her thing with Brian, she's kind of finally admitted that it's a real crush and that she is trying to see if he likes her back, and it definitely seems like he does, but it hasn't reached the part where we find out that he liked Amelia first, possibly. Charlie is just I just relate a lot to her, or I feel like she and I could get along really well. And I like the writing style of this, which makes her seem so much more like cute and fleshed out, and I think that I really enjoy Crystal Maldonado's writing style. It would be super ideal for me to finish Fat Chance Charlie Vega today because I did bring another book with me. I brought with me Alice Network, although it's a little bit chunkier than I would have thought. It would be also great to like finish this at an early enough time that I could make a decent way through that book. I'm not gonna say I definitely will finish that book for this vlog since I only have like a little bit of today and tomorrow, which now my non-reading days are now Sundays as opposed to Saturdays, but I would like to get started in it to talk about it a little bit for this vlog. But it feels good because I'm reading 2 books this week. I feel like lately it's been more like 1, but I think that doing the weekly vlog thing is gonna help me get back into it. Happy last day of the vlog. Cha-Cha, the cat, she likes to wake us up and ask us for pets, which she did a lot more of today. Maybe because it was our last night, she came for like cuddles and she actually like slept in the bed with us, which was like really adorable. But then I got a little injury there and she disappeared. While I was reading Fat Chance Charlie Vega. I wasn't able to finish it last night. I think had I been able to sit down on my commute home, I would have been able to. I really liked this. The reason for like Charlie and Brian, I like understood, and it was very third act, but also like she just needed to overcome her own insecurities, and that's like the coming of age part. The way that it was resolved, really liked it. So this book, so close, but I'm giving it 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed this, and again with Crystal Maldonado's writing, I found it really easy to read, so I definitely will be looking at other books that she has published. I love Charlie and Amelia's relationship, but I honestly do not like the mom still. Like, I don't feel like that was resolved in the best way, because maybe she was able to confront her mom, but it wasn't a big of a deal. Like, it wasn't that fleshed out. It was more about like Charlie being compared to Amelia. It wasn't quite about Charlie feeling like she was constantly fat shamed by her mom, and I wish that part had been resolved as well. But all in all, really enjoyed this, and 4.5 stars. I love her and Brian. I love Charlie. I'm gonna close out the vlog before I like wind down for the evening and go to sleep. But also I did read the Alice Network. I decided to stop at 33 pages just because it's already late in the evening and I don't feel like I can talk a lot about the book at this point, or however much I could possibly read tonight, which I don't think will be a lot anyway. This is a spy novel about how women contributed in the war. It's told in like dual timeline and following Charlie, who's looking for her French cousin who went missing after the war, and then Eve when she was a spy with Rose, I think. So I've read 33 pages of that, and I've read The Deep by Nick Cutter, which I ended up giving 3.5 stars. Quite atmospheric, but not quite as much horror and scary as I would have liked it to be. And then my favorite out of this was Fat Chance Charlie Vega by Crystal Maldonado, which I gave 4.5 stars, and I also, like a few minutes ago, put Crystal Maldonado's 2022 release book on hold at the library. Overall, I read 762 pages this week, which I'm feeling really good about. Not quite 3 books, however, it's making me feel more motivated. As you saw, I still am consistently 5 books behind, which really sucks, but I'm hoping that by doing weekly vlogs again, I can keep up with a good schedule and catch up, because I also have some graphic novels that I would like to fit in as well. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked the books that I'm reading. If you have like a good horror book, especially besides the one that I guess I have on my list, if you looked at my reels already, let me know what I should be reading, and I'll see you all in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!